Alright, what's up guys? We're here to play Legacy, you know how it works here on this channel. Let's play a sweet one that won a super qualifier not that long ago. I'm of course talking about Affinity. So what makes this deck good? We have a somewhat new printing of Pinnacle Emissary. You can use this for its warp cost to have explosive turns, power out Memory Guardian, Kappa Cannoneer ahead of schedule. You have 18 zeros, including a couple of Tormod's Crypt and Ursa Saga mana base with Seed of the Synod and Ancient Tomb. Singed Stupor as blue source / blue card for Force of Will. And Emery for grind, I guess you can call it. Patchwork is strictly an aggro card, just like Guardian and Kappa Cannoneer. A single boots to speed up things if you get to your third chapter. This deck is essentially looking to have a fast and resilient kill via creatures, dodging a lot of the normally played removal in the format. Cards like Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push are frequently quite bad against this deck. Of course, they do have some text. Sideboard-wise, I'm trying to improve against red. I have the full 4 Force Negations, a couple of dismembers. We have to take care of our life total here with Sinks and Ancient Tomb. Shadow Spear for when it's becoming a race. Haywire Might for when we have to kill enchantments or artifacts. Spellbomb for Mayor Lich and Murktide, essentially. A couple of more crypts to solidify the Reanimator matchups, and then a couple of Needle here against Wasteland, One Ring, Sneak Attack, Nomad and Core. It's actually a very, very versatile card, and it has synergy with our deck. We can dig for it with Emery, we can use it as a Mox Sapphire to power Kappa Cannoneer, etc., etc. All right, enough talk. Let's get into some games. All right, round 1, I'm playing Mono Blue Affinity, and this is a mulligan. So we have essentially nothing going on until turn 2 Patchwork. Then I play Bauble. The Saga is going to be a little bit wasted. Yep, that's not going to do it. This hand is what I would call a little bit better. Let's see how we can salvage this. So I guess we have to play to the hand's potential. Maybe get rid of a Guardian, try and go a little bigger here. So get rid of Guardian, hope to find... Oh, I got a little message here from the opponent. That's pretty cool. I seem to have pretty good ratio when it comes to these messages. Love to see it here. Opponent is opening on a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is very good against a deck like this because it essentially, you know, can pick apart my synergy deck. That being said, let's see what this Mox Opal can do. So if I go Pinnacle Emissary, Mox Opal, another Emissary, is that even good? Or should I just go Emery in that situation? I think I should just go Emery. So let's see. Warp, Mox Opal. This just by itself, even if this was a basic island, is turning on Metalcraft for Opal. So pretty good turn 1. I'm putting a lot of pressure on my opponent to kill the Emery, or potentially they can get buried already. Let's see how that works. I have Smallpox protection here with the drone. So let's see. If I get the turn, what do I do? If I get the turn, I can Emissary, Warp Emissary, play Bauble from the graveyard. So that's 1 artifact. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I think... Yeah, then I'm building towards that Kappa Cannoneer. If I draw 0, I think I can cap it from the graveyard. So let's see what the opponent figures out here. Actually, a card like Nile Spellbomb and popping it would not be bad here for my opponent. Maybe the move is, if this game slows down, that I just Emissary from the exile. I'm not sure. Wow, they just gave me the turn here. That's pretty darn powerful. So what if I go Emissary, play Bauble from the graveyard, and then maybe don't crack the Bauble? Magic is hard. So red, cast this card, replay Bauble, get the 1/1. I don't think I'm cracking that, because then Orcish Bowmasters can kill my Emery. I'm not sure I want that. So attacking with a 1/1. I'm trying to think how that deck actually beats Kappa Cannoneer. Maybe the question is they don't, and that's why I have to chill here. Yeah, let's try and chill here. I think they will end-step a Bowmaster here, and I look like a genius. Is that even the case? Wait a minute. I think maybe... Did I botch it here? Yeah, maybe I botched it. The opponent killed that token. I guess I'm playing around 2 Bowmasters here. I don't know. I should have thought a little bit more about that. Maybe it's still good, because this is my way to ensure Kappa Cannoneer, and there's no reason for me to let double Bowmaster interact with that. Okay, maybe that's decent. Here's Wasteland. Wasteland onto the Seat of the Synod. So now my opponent is actually dodging the... Well, no, they're not. They were actually dodging the Kappa Cannoneer until now. So let's play that card. I think the opponent's in big trouble here. Kappa Cannoneer from the graveyard, por favor. 1. Let's cast 2, 3, 4. Am I attacking with Emissary here? There's a 3/3. Let's see. Ping, block. Don't think I would like that, so maybe I play like this. All right. Kappa Cannoneer. Attack with a 1/1. And let's see what the opponent can do. They're in a little bit of trouble here, to say the least. All right, we got there. I think this was a pretty cool example of, if they Thoughtseize this card, they obviously say, well, I'm weak to this Kappa Cannoneer, right? So with our combined knowledge and research, experience from the matchup, we can kind of confirm that. And then at that point, we need to make conservative plays to make sure this hits the board, because this card is hitting so hard that the chip damage that I gave up on, I don't think is going to be nearly as important as securing that card onto the field. So let's see. I'm playing against Pox. Pox can Loam Wastelock us, but I don't think I'm supposed to worry about that. I want the Needles against Wasteland. I think I want Ether Spellbomb against Hogak. I don't want Crypt nor counters. I could consider Force Negation, but I think it's simply just too bad in these Thoughtseize games. Note that Orcish Bowmasters is somewhat annoying here against my million bobble deck. But I think it's fine. I have 2 Dismembers and I can slow down and, you know, I can beat it, like going around it essentially. So what's more important, Hasters or Tramplers? Maybe Tramplers is more, trampling is more important here because of the hatchery. So I add the Shadow Spear, just in case there's some kind of stall where they have some tokens, etc. All right, let's see what this is. This is 1-off Kappa Cannoneer. So while this hand is not, you know, perfect, I don't think you're allowed to mulligan just any playable hand against Pox. It does a pretty good job of trading resources and leaving people in the dirt. So let's see. Turn on Thoughtseize would be annoying. This is not turn on Thoughtseize. Oh boy. Okay, it's officially on. So now let's go Emissary 3 tokens. And now is also the perfect time to crack baubles. Note that this was not a fetch land, so the opponent can't fetch Fatal Push us, which is pretty good. Maybe I should learn about my own top card here. before I know how many bubbles I should crack. Emery. That card is pretty bad, so I guess we crack all bubbles. I see a Bayou, that's all goody. Pass the turn. So I'm getting 3 new cards here, so, you know, this hand could be anything. Cannoneer might be just coming next turn. There might be a crapshoot. Let's see. So I don't think my opponent has a play. I think they simply just... Oh, they do have a play. Okay, they're scared of getting buried by Kappa Cannoneer. That's all good. So, draw 3. We knew about Emery. Opal is great. Guardian is... Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Not great yet, I guess. Void Mirror. That card is incredible against my zeros. So... Yeah, I'm currently in the dirt here. I need to draw Ancient Tomb here. Brutal stuff. I draw another Saga. Okay, that's not atrocious. Let's play that. Worth noting is I can't cast my Dismember, but I can go get Mox Opal here. And then maybe go get Mox Opal with this one. Ooh. I was about to say go get Haywire Might with the other one. Okay, Void Mirror is a great card. So, let's see. Pinnacle Emissary, not ideal. Let's search. Ooh, the opponent is even turning off the Metalcraft here. This just might be enough to get me to shuffle. That's a very, very cool way to get rid of Metalcraft. Okay, I'm fine conceding here. Nice place for my opponent here. Pushing the token was irrelevant. Seemed very bad at the time, but was super relevant. And then pulling another one with Bowmasters, keeping me off Metalcraft. I'm always here to acknowledge good plays where you get a little bit creative. All right, I'll play first game 3. Let's see what we can do. So let's see what this is. This is Petal, Emissary. Mox Opal, get the token, cast Emery, develop Saga. All right. The opponent knows that this is a tricky matchup, so they might be aggressive on the mulligans for Void Mirror, which is not exactly good news for me. Well, it could be good news, could be bad news, right? Now they're on a mult of 5, which makes turn 1 Void Mirror very hard, because that would require 2 lands, Mox Diamond, and Void Mirror. Yeah, I think getting Emery into play here is going to be the move, because Emery ensures that I can replay stuff from my yard in this attrition matchup. So Opal, 1, 2, 3. Well, this one gives me an extra 1/1. This is a tough one, because Emery, yeah, that gives me an extra 1/1. That's pretty darn good. I think it's Emery. Play that, get an extra 1/1. Emery's kind of a must kill. This card clocks. Oh boy. I'm going to try with the Guardian here. All right. So now I'm in a spot where land is an insane draw. If I don't draw land, I'll go back into Emery mode. And if I get Void Mirrored, I will go into Beatdown mode. So I have a somewhat solid contingency plan. Let's see what this is. Okay, mulliganing into exploration, I'm not too scared about. Let's see if I speak too soon. Okay, I draw land here. That is a bestial draw. That shouldn't be allowed. Emery versus Saga is now online thanks to the Ancient Tomb. Yeah, this hand was absurd. Simply absurd. Now the opponent needs some crazy permanent that stops me from attacking, like Ensnaring Bridge or whatever, and empty their hand. Emery replays stuff. I'm just putting on too much pressure here. Yeah, having Ancient Tomb on top made this game not very interesting, but I actually think my turn 1 decision was interesting. Versus Saga. The opponent has 3 mana available. Who knows? They might be playing some cool stuff I didn't think about. 4 mana available. 2 cards in hand. Don't want to speak too soon here. But it made it rather simple for me to play, was the point. Haywire Might in rotation is kind of cool. Is this a Grist? Oh, it's a Baraglyph. Okay. Baraglyph is a cool one. Baraglyph holding up mana here, so that means Fatal Push is on. Let's see if we can... we don't have the haste equipment. That's pretty important to think about. Here's a 5/5. Baraglyph will be a 3/4. Mox Opal, probably not a very exciting draw. Make a 6/6, go search. What are we searching? I could just go Ether Spellbomb, return it. I think my opponent's in a little bit of a trouble then. Let's see, Ether Spellbomb. Return the Baraglyph. So I could replay the Spellbomb here. I think that's pretty good. So maybe I think this construct is getting pushed. The opponent will take 5. And then I go second main, Mox, replay Spellbomb. No. The opponent's taking 11 here. So replay Spellbomb, Mox, keep the new one. Okay, I could have attacked for 1 more. Okay, sloppy play here. And now my opponent needs something kind of unthinkable, but I wish my opponent was at 1, because if they have something like destroy all artifacts or whatever, just imagine this Emery doesn't get there because of it. It's just always good to maximize your damage. I don't want to sugarcoat the importance here. This was pretty cool at showcasing the explosivity here of this deck. The opponent can now activate Saga once. Yeah, GG's opponent. This deck can be super brutal when you get out of the gates like that. All right, let's play some more matches. Guys, let's look at this beautiful place, Eco's Barony over on MetaFi. What do I have to offer? Aside from free tournaments, the best community out there, let's see what we have. So we have my own personal legacy guides, ready to go for Eternal Weekend EU with my favorite decks, challenge winning lists, what's not to like. This is what I'm the most proud of. I have my guest primers. Just look at these beautiful players with their beautiful favorite deck. I would guess that these guest article combined are something like 200 pages of the absolute best, writing down all their thoughts about their favorite decks. So yeah, certainly go check that out. If vintage is your jam, here's my top 6 decks. I've worked a lot on these decks. The guys are ready to go. What are you waiting for? I'm also uploading strategy articles with, different topics every now and again. And yeah, I hope to see you over there. $15 is what you need to get to subscription that gets you full access. So I hope to see you over there. Let's get back to the video. All right, more Magic the Gathering coming your way. I want to play with my mono blue Affinity deck. This looks like a sweet one. So let's see. Turn 1, Tomb, Patchwork, Opal, Crypt, Emery. I have a 3/3 and an online Emery. Okay, that's pretty sweet. So let's keep this. If the opponent has an answer to to Emery, I'm left with a 4/4. I think that's reasonable. So let's see. Mox, Crypt, Emery. I mill over a Guardian. That's pretty good. And I'm going to wait with my Opal. Okay. I wonder which deck concedes to this opening. It must be a fair deck. Wait a minute. Did I just get my opponent with the Tormod's Crypt? Let's think about this. Which deck concedes here? It must be a graveyard deck. Otherwise, you just play, right? I have an explosive aggressive hand, but that is curious, opponent. Am I gonna sideboard like this is blue-black Reanimator? I mean, they would still have game in that spot, I think. Let's see. I like these cards against fast Reanimator. Maybe I'm just crazy for assuming it's fast Reanimator. I think this is how I should sideboard, though. If I think it's fast Reanimator. Conceding to the Crypt. Or conceding to the aggro. Maybe I'm, I don't know, putting too much thought into it. Let's see. All right, this hand is, I guess, good, fine, something in the middle. We have a Force. We have the Crypt that we suspect is good against our opponent. We have an Emery and Online Saga. We do need a mana source, though. With the way I sideboarded, like leaning on all 8 forces, I think this is just something we should be happy about. So Kappa Cannoneer mainly shines in fair matchups where you can kind of, I don't know, stall with some tokens and still crack in for damage. All right, let's see how wrong I am. Let's Steinmeier pass. Okay, so far so good, I guess. Seed of the Synod, is that a good draw? I think it is, because it allows me to activate Saga turn 2. So turn 1 Crypt. Play that, play that, play that. Emery's now on. I think that's important. Emery milling over. Actually, not that great cards, but I think it's all good because... So now Bobble. I feel like I should just Bobble straight away. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe the opponent will surveil here every time. Let's see. Could be wrong. Okay, so the opponent conceded a little bit too fast to that nice Archon on top of the deck. The opponent conceded a little bit too fast last game to the Tormod's Crypt and plus aggro. Let's see what this is. Cabal Therapy. I have to let it quick resolve here, which is super annoying. The opponent's unfortunately going to name Force Will a lot of the time here. Nice one. So Show and Tell is currently crushing me. Can't really do anything about it, though. Yeah, let's take the turn. I currently don't have Metalcraft. Now I do. So let's see. Replay, Bobble. Bobble, land. Let's see what the opponent's working with. Chain of Smog, so they boarded in that combo. Okay. Did I don't have the Spell Bomb. I'm not sure I have any interaction for that. So do I even... Maybe I play the Pedal, because if I draw Dismember, I can Dismember end of turn and make a Construct. I'm not sure that's going to matter, though. Let's see. Did I sideboard out the Hasty? Yeah, I did sideboard out the Boots. Drawing another Pedal. Yeah, I could be in deep trouble here. The Chain of Smog. Reanimate onto my Emery. 4 cards in hand. That Emery... That Emery is my opponent's Cabal Therapy fodder, which is less important. If I wipe the yard now, I don't have a Bobble anymore, but... I don't have a Bobble anymore, but I can verse a Saga for 1. Okay, I'm going to wipe my own graveyard here. Nice play by the opponent. So I lose to land, discard spell on themselves, another Reanimate here, because I didn't play out Tormod's Crypt. That's kind of brutal. Okay, so it looks like we got away with that one. Token. Let's see if we can draw something sweet. Emissary, is that something sweet? I think the token is just straight up better. Let's make another one. I have a Tormod's Crypt. I feel like I should get a draw Bobble into rotation. Let's do that. Pedal. Let's try and attack with the biggest construct we can. So this one attacks for 10. I think that's fine. And then I'm going to replay a Bobble to draw 2 to try and get lucky. Getting lucky is essentially drawing Dismember, I guess. They have Archon. Okay, they concede here. So they must have been 2 draws away from anything, or realized that Show and Tell Archon was not going to do it. Okay, well, that was kind of smooth. I'm not... I think holding this Tormod's Crypt was not optimal, because it's like I have some patchworks in my deck, sure, but if I draw those, is that size of that card really going to be the deal breaker, like the name of the game, when I have these huge constructs coming? I think if I just play out the second Tormod's Crypt, I'm not in a predicament there. All right, let's sharpen up and play one more. All right, let's play a little bit more Affinity here. Another friendly opponent in the chat. We're on the draw here with a Saga Ancient Tomb hand that has a Force of Will and a blue card, so let's see how this develops. Once upon a time, so Eldrazi aggro is my best bet here, I must say. Windswept Heath, never mind, cancel. Basic Forest. I'm going to Force of Will this Reclaimer, and I'm not going to like it. Tormod's Crypt. Pretty bad card. Let's see. Maybe what I'm supposed to do here is... I'm probably up against a Maverick style deck. So I don't have infinite time. I'm gonna play these cards out, but I'm not gonna crack them unless my Saga gets killed. Let's see if that works. Because if my Saga lives, I think I'm supposed to care about getting to Kappa Cannoneer at some point. But this is where my expertise is not, you know, is not perfect. So, okay, Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter is a good one. Let's see. I think I should abandon the plan now, right? Let's see how if I get wait. If I get an island plus that one, okay, I'm actually there. Sick. I'm actually at Kappa Cannoneer. So they're gonna wait until my draw step. Okay, they're not. I think they should have waited until draw step, because in theory, my lone base island could be on top of the deck, right? So yes, I want to search. I want to draw, and I draw that card, which ironically does not help more than Ancient Tomb. So let's play Kappa Cannoneer. Pass. So I have one unblockable hit in me, and I can start bobbling. So essentially, this is probably going to be a 3-turn clock, unless something drastically changes. We know about ooh, let's see. That's cool. So that's why the opponent's hanging on to the fetches. That card is cool. Might be a good one. Might kill me next turn. So a cub and Ink Moth. Okay, so we're playing against a cool one here. So I guess play land. Yes. I'm also gonna play this. I'm gonna, I guess, give it my good old college try here to finish the job in 2 swings, even though I think it's gonna be very hard. Best draw is probably Sink into Stupor, to be honest. Automaton and Sink into Stupor. Sheesh. Okay. So I think the move here is to let our opponent, you know, try and go off a little bit. Here's the Windswept Heath that the opponent found on Once Upon. Sure. So essentially, I can't beat my opponent having, you know, a great, you know, protection spell in hand, essentially. So I have to speed up things here a little bit. Tifa 6, Tifa 12. I don't really want to take 12 damage here, opponent, so let me do this. Take 1 instead. That's amazing for me. Draw another Kappa Cannoneer. Wow. So let's slam that one. Attack for 8. And then I have the artifact for next turn. The opponent needs to deal me 14 now, which I hope is very hard. Okay. Wow. Very clutch Sink into Stupor. Very clutch Sink into Stupor. I love that one. Love Dismember here. I guess I love Spellbomb as well. Don't really want Force of Will, but I don't want Tormod's Crypt either. So let's see if we can get rid of all of those cards. This does not work against Ink Moth. Needle does, so I like Needle. These 5 cards are good. So now I can either keep in a Lone Force or add a Shadow Spear. Is Shadow Spear good? What would I rather randomly draw? Maybe it's just a Force. I think that's okay. Yeah, I need to add cards as well. Yeah, I didn't prepare for the green, mono green, you know, Tifa Infect deck. That's unfortunate. So let's see what this is. This is a bad hand, I think. I can go turn 1, Pinnacle Emissary, make 1 token, be on 0 lands. Yeah, this sucks. This is not great, but I think this is how we have to play. Maybe I get rid of a land, play a 3/3, draw a couple of cards. Kind of try and get there. Here's a Reclaimer. I think that changes my situation. That card needs to get killed. So land, kill that card. And then I'm off balance with the patchwork. Not ideal. Off balance essentially meaning I have to make a tough choice. Lose to Wasteland or develop some baubles and lose out on triggers. That card changes everything. What a draw. Okay. So turn 1, patchwork. Bauble that's getting sacked. Let's learn about the opponent's top card. Prop Rod. Bauble that's getting sacked. Caracas. Play that card. Kill off the Reclaimer. Develop a 4/4. Draw a couple of cards. Spellbomb. Guardian. Okay, actually some sick draws here. Ooh, the opponent had to pass. So maybe I should... The opponent had to pass. What is that about? End of turn, plow onto the Guardian, I bet. So I should place my stuff first main here. Let's see, 1 artifact, 2 artifact, 3 artifacts. So if I go Spellbomb, Guardian, I attack for 6. So I expect this to get plowed, but that's not really the point here. I just need to like force the issue, because otherwise this card is getting plowed after another turn, so... Alright. Pressure on to the opponent. Ooh. Nice. Very nice Force of Vigor here. I certainly didn't think about that card. Very nice. So that also explains why the opponent held up 2 mana here to pay for a ward. Nice play. Another patchwork. So play patchwork. I'm not maybe I should hold this land. It's a close call. I'm at 10 here, worth noting. So the opponent can do some annoying stuff here. Ghost Quarter, that's a good one. Ghost Quarter is cool in a landfall deck because you can do it on your own stuff. Picking 4. Feel like I should bounce this card, but then again, what's my end game if I bounce that card? They will re-slam it. I'm not close to stabilizing here. Yeah, I'm not sure how I win this game. Maybe the answer is I don't. Let's see. Let's see if we can learn more about the opponent's hand. Forest, this is an atrocious card. Have to bounce that now. Attack for 2. Yeah, I think we've been bested here, and we have to come back stronger in the 3rd game. That looks like a pretty sweet deck, to be honest. Tifa, Reclaimer, Cub, Zenith for consistency. Maybe even some nasty sideboard bullets, etc. That's cool. So let's see. I'll draw a card here. If this is... Okay, this is Needle. That's not going to do anything. I don't want to go to 1. I'm going to Spellbomb here. Replay. I'm in trouble. Yes. Pass. All right. Let's see what we can do here for the last game. Maybe Spear is better than a Force. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's close. I think I have to have the mentality that anything you can do, I can do better. Rather than I need to stop you in your tracks. Ooh, we have some stuff here. We have some stuff here. Turn 1, Sink, Pinnacle. Play Mox. Play that, play that. Are we even getting to Kappa Cannoneer? This hand is probably insane against non-Force of Vigor hands. Let's see. Let's see. Play that card. Let's see if they fire the Vigor right now. They could do that, right? Okay, they have the Vigor. Vigor, pitch, Vigor onto those guys. Yes, that happens. So now, if I want to, I can go Emery. Let's see. I think going Emery here is better than not going Emery, essentially. So I cannot develop the boots first. I can click on the Emery. I can do like this. And then I can pass the turn. Okay, so the opponent had the Vigor. Otherwise, I would have played turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer and the game's over, right? So that was a cool one. I mill over some decent stuff here. Let's see how fast the opponent is out of the gates. Not really fast. So what happens if I play 0 from the graveyard? Then I have 2 artifacts. Then I can play Guardian this turn. Maybe it's better to save for Cannoneer. Let's see. Three artifacts. So this is, yeah, let's pass. I think that's the move. What I could do is go Guardian. Yeah, let's pass. No, oh, no, no, no. I should have equipped Emery. Okay, okay. I was sleeping at the wheel here. Yeah, I should have equipped Emery here. That would have been a lot better. Now the opponent thinks I'm holding up stuff, which is kind of funny. And now my artifact, now my graveyard's gone. So there's that. And I draw a bauble straight away, like a champ. So let's see. I should probably play that card, and now I guess replay. Rumble is a good one. Replay to draw some cards. Equip that one. Attack, draw a couple. I don't know if I missed Kappa Cannoneer there. I don't think I did. I think I'm fine. All right, here's Cub. So now the opponent will have a fetch land and maybe have a kill next turn. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Okay, let's see. Land. Play the 0. Let's see. Let's play the 0. Kappa Cannoneer. Let's see. Maybe it's better to play Bauble out so that I can tap everything except 1. Yes, I think this is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haste the Cannoneer. So now Is the opponent dead next turn? 6, that puts them down to 9. This one. Then it's a 7. Replay from the yard. That's an 8. Okay. I'll try just attacking with the Cannoneer and then blocking with the Guardian. I have a feeling this deck could be, like, super explosive. It might still kill me. Who knows? All right. Magic is hard. This is crunch time. So next turn I can play 2 artifacts for sure. So if my opponent cracks 1 fetch, that is lethal. I'm going to block, and I'm going to prevent 4. I hope my opponent cannot deal 21. If my opponent does not crack a fetch, then I need to draw an artifact. So kind of some cool scenarios here. I'm also not positive this deck is this is a plow deck, but I'm not positive. That Lush Portico looks a little bit suspicious, but also you would probably play a Surveillant in the deck anyway. So maybe it's just something like a white lane for Gaddock Teak in your Zenith package or something. Who knows? The opponent's a little bit in the tank here. Not sure what for. Could be crop rotation related. Maybe there's some spicy ones in there. All right, looks like the opponent is gonna be away from the computer for a short bit, so let me just pause the video. All right, the opponent is back. Let's see what they can do. I think we outlined how we win and how we lose. And yeah, let's see. Let us see. I can grow it twice for sure. But I need a little help either from the top of the deck or my opponent cracking a fetch. I also need this Memory Guardian to save me from getting trampled to death here. This game is quite complicated. I also have a lot of tapped stuff down here that could have advanced my game state, but I decided that keeping defense was more important. If the opponent has a 3rd Vigor, I'm just not going to think too much about that. I think that's just not something that I'm beating. Them pitching 1 Force of Vigor in the opener says a little bit. And now it's time for the opponent to goldfish. Let's see. So if the opponent... Does it keep doubling if this is the 2nd time? What if it's the 3rd time? I don't know. You guys should tell me. I'm not used to triggering that card too often. It's mainly just you play a fetch land and I have an Adu in play and the opponent concedes. I haven't done a lot of actual Scythe Cat Cub action. All right, important turn here for the opponent. The opponent's in the tank. They're facing down potential lethal. They know I've prioritized to play defense. Here's Malevolent Rumble, which I probably should be quite happy with that my opponent is playing. Here's some good cards. Nice Collector Roof. The opponent will get a 0-1 here, worth mentioning. They can now choose between Ghost Quarter. They're not going to take that card. They can choose between Besaiger and Oof, essentially. Besaiger being a disenchant effects that removes a power from Kappa Cannoneer. So I wonder if there's a bluff for the opponent here where they take that card They make me think about that, and now I'm not going to block with my Guardian. And then they find lethal, because I don't know what the card does. If this is the second time this ability to resolve this turn, it must be like Umnath, where it says like first, fourth, sorry, yeah, well, first, second, third, and fourth, but I'm really not sure. So the first time is a +1, the next time would be a +2 in this case. So let's see, they go for Besage You. So Besage is something that kills Memory Guardian if I get lazy. Here's a basic land. 4 cards in hand, opponent. I don't like this. I don't like this because if this is not lethal... Wait a minute. What do they need for lethal here? The thing is, they just have that Besage You card. That's just going to kill the Guardian anyway. So is this in my interest to block, to just replay the Guardian? Pump the Kappa. So I guess Automaton. Is this a Berserk deck? So boom, put a double the counters. That would be 2 more, right? And then it's a 6. And then is crop rotation just killing me? I think maybe what I... the thing is, Besage is killing this card. That's the problem. Okay, I'm going to take the damage and accept my fate here, because Besage is just going to kill the equipment, and then I can't get there. Okay. Urza Saga is atrocious here, unfortunately. Let's see if we can learn more here. Another Cub. The opponent didn't want that card. So let's replay. I should have played my Automaton. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Here's Mr. Sequence over here. Guess equipping over is gonna be smart. Right? Right, guys? Let's see if we have exactly Sink into Stupor on top of our deck before making a move here. We don't. I could draw it underneath. I have 3 bobble triggers coming. If I equip this card, it does nothing. The opponent blocks. Okay, well, I guess let's send the clowns here. Yeah, I messed this up badly. Oh, wow. Oh, I botched it here. Yeah, I botched it. This was the win. I'm too stressed. I have to get, I have to leave in 5 minutes. So I guess this was not ideal. So let's just try and backtrack here to at least make sure everybody learned something here. If I equip the Automaton, that is now a 2-powered attacker. I then send the clowns, right? So this is 7. And then if the opponent wants to kill this one, this, they either have to sack a fetch land or they have to, you know, sack the token. So now they would be at either 8 and take 8, which is lethal from Kappa, or they have to sack the token, which they take lethal here over here. So yeah, a good player wins this game. That's cool. Let's shuffle. We have a bad card. Let's see what they're working with. Windswept Heath. Okay. So that was atrocious. I guess we put our opponent to 1. It's decent they cannot crack a fetch, but it's atrocious that I let them live through that turn. Yeah, that was really not good. All right, I got a little bit too stressed on time here. I hope you appreciate the content anyway. And sometimes in Magic, you don't have to play your best in order to win, and that was certainly the case today. But hey, I had a lot of fun playing Affinity. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching. I hope to see you back soon on the channel. Thanks so much, guys.